All right, Big Bang. Today is Thursday. It's November 18th. Welcome to the Dog Walk, presented by Barstool Sports. I said we're going to mix these in. Here's number 2, behind the scenes, boys. C's, I almost said. I can't speak like ever.
You're a professional speaker.
I know, and I can't speak. It's such a problem.
You have your own, like we said this before. Eddie should have his own like accent mark. Like like the Spanish language does when you say like Damongo and shit like that.
My back.
Mo Bamba.
Yeah, Mo Bamba.
Maybe, perhaps. But anyways, behind the scenes, boys. Here we got Tom, producer Tom, social media Dan. This is the second one we're doing, and I think it was about a month ago. Is that right? A couple weeks, 3 weeks.
Yeah.
Good estimate. Yeah.
So the people are on the edge of their seat. Producer Tom, to find out how your debacle with Tide laundromats ended.
Yeah. Power of the dog walk. It was like the next day I got an email saying like, hey, your clothes will be there at this certain time. And they were. So shout out to like, I think there was like 2 or 3 people that actually like reached out and was like, hey, if you need help with this, like I can help you out. So shout out to them. The only reason I didn't follow up was because it was like the next day I got that resolved. So
great. So it had nothing to do with the dog walk, to be clear. It was just the timing.
Could have been the dog walk gods got him that
sweater,
that Viva sweater back in his hands.
Don't sleep on the gods.
I think it came. I think the episode was released before I got in contact.
Really?
So can't rule it out.
Maybe. And then I sent you that screenshot. I did have someone that I know from high school.
Yeah.
That works for the company. That was like, hey, this is brutal. Like, let me know what I could do to help.
Really appreciate that.
So she reached out. So everything's good. You're good. You got your clothes back.
I got it all back. Nothing missing. Yeah.
So did they say like was it just in a locker that they had forgotten about, or what happened?
No, they didn't say. They didn't explain anything.
Yeah. Which they don't have to. I mean,
right? Yeah. The funniest was like
if they knew where it was, they would have given it to you right away.
I didn't. I laid off all the complaints because they did refund me like the full charge, and they also gave me, I think like she said like she's like, yeah, check your account for like $25 credit for the next time you use it. And I was like, oh, there'll never be a next time that I use this service. Okay. So that's the other thing. I didn't really press for an explanation because I was like, I'm not going to reuse this service.
Tom, come on, everyone has a bad day. Maybe they'll be in,
let bygones be bygones. I'm just not gonna do it again.
Yeah, personal bad experience. But if someone wants to use them, I don't want to discourage them. A lot of people,
it's Tide. They'll be fine.
Tom has a free $25 to Tide for it too.
If I can take down Tide, then that's pretty.
But here's the thing, though, Tom. It's like it's Zillow. Like Tuesday, it was Zillow, but like Hochberg said, the guy we had on Wednesday, the mortgage professional, 2,000 people lost their jobs. So nobody feels bad for the C-suite people.
True.
But the younger ones, that's who you got to feel bad for.
I don't want anyone to lose their jobs.
Yes.
I just want them to do their jobs.
Just do better.
Yeah.
Just do a better job.
Yeah. Just don't lose his clothes.
Yes.
Don't let it happen again.
Danny, how are you?
I'm all right. Thanks for asking.
Speaking of gods.
Me?
No, not you.
Okay.
Speaking of gods, I just had a weird conversation with Chief. You know what? One of my favorite, and we got on this conversation because we were talking about how Chief says he was 5'2" on his license when he was 16, and I'm like, I just can't picture that.
Yeah, that's real. It's not like a typo or anything. Chief was actually 5'2". Then story goes he had a miraculous growth spurt.
10 inches, yeah.
10 inches.
And it's just one of those things where like, do you agree with me? Like it's just something you couldn't imagine.
Chief specifically?
Yes.
Yeah, no, I can't.
You can't imagine Chief being that short or Chief hitting that 10-inch growth
Chief
spurt.
being that short. Like I couldn't picture like, those short 5'2" bubble butts.
Could you imagine if he still was and like all the fights him and Dave get into? It'd be so much funnier. It'd be like the old Muppets. Like, shut up, Dave. You shut up, Chief.
Dude, that's a great call. That's an unbelievable call.
They'd just be nose to nose now.
He said he was angrier too when he was.
Oh, I bet Napoleon syndrome. You gotta be.
He said that. Yeah. He said he was angrier.
I'm surprised he's not a worse person because, I actually have like one of my best friends, closest friends, that exact same thing happened to him. 2 of them, like I actually have two friends that happened with, where it's like, but 16 up until like maybe even 17, they were like 5'5", like they were always the shortest in the class, and they both grew up to be like my height, like 6'1".
Yeah.
And one of them has a Napoleon complex built in through childhood, and now is like a grown adult, and he's 6'1" with that inside
Same
of him.
bravado.
So yeah.
You think it'd be similar to like when they say, you know, an unattractive guy or girl, they randomly get hot, but they're nice because they have the perspective of like being a nerd or whatever.
You know what it's like to be the ugly duckling.
Right.
Correct. Yeah. Well, I think Chief is
Chief has that.
But he's not like he lost the complex. Like, he's a nice guy.
But if you think about it, he's the one making fun of Dave most for being short. Vertically challenged.
But to be fair, Dave.
Yeah, Dave fucking deserves it.
Yes,
obviously.
Dave is an agitator. He's a pest. Dave's a pest.
A gnat.
He's a gnat. White Sox Dave is a pest.
That's what happens when you don't get a 10-inch growth spurt.
Yeah.
Yeah. True. But anyway, so then I brought up how in 7th grade, I've talked about this before, how I broke my ankle playing basketball. And the doctor said I hit a growth plate. And I said, that's why I bring up God. And I bring up, listen, I don't know if it's Bozo or God up there, whatever you want to believe. I don't want to make it about that. But I'd like him to answer some questions.
Okay.
Let's hear him.
Like,
Wow.
I would love to know and be like, hey, actually, yes, that growth plate, you were slotted to be 6'2". But then, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And I'd love for him to be like, hey, here's your closest near-death experience. That day you were on the 90 and you got off, if you didn't get off, you would have been involved in like a 10-car pot. You know what I mean? Shit like that. And I know that's maybe not groundbreaking. Maybe a lot of people are like, I'd love to see a movie on my life. But I just want some, here's the time where you were so close to closing with this girl. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Shit like that.
Like butterfly effect type shit.
Yes,
where you don't realize
exactly.
like how much it really did affect your life.
Exactly.
Or could have.
Yes.
I love this perspective of that. If you ever had this like hypothetical conversation with God, it would be like completely selfish. It wouldn't be like, hey, how come all those people died in that tragic accident?
Yeah.
Like, hey, how come I got fucked over?
Well, you can get to that, certainly.
Yeah.
Certainly.
I would be the same way for sure.
That's a conversation for Satan.
Yeah, exactly. But I think that's a good.
Do you have any more that you wrote down?
Obviously, for some reason, the near death is like what I was always.
It's so hard to really answer that because it could have been like when you were going to get coffee this morning. It's not necessarily like when you swerved in traffic. Like you could have missed a fucking, grand piano dropping on your head or something.
Yeah. Like that's like even that. That's what I'm saying.
Mm-hmm.
Like fucking New York. It's like you were supposed to fall into this. What's that where they bring like the fucking kegs and the food in through those hatch doors?
Oh
those
yeah,
trap
like
doors.
yeah.
Yeah, it's like you were supposed to actually go down on the one on 88th, but for whatever reason you took fucking Broadway that day.
Yeah.
It's just shit like that. I would like the answer to.
Maybe he helps you out a little too. Maybe he fucked up your GPS one morning, which ultimately avoided you getting fucking wrecked by a semi or some shit.
Yeah, think about that. Everything that led up to you going to that kickball game, Eddie.
Yeah, right. You're right. Totally.
Yeah,
totally.
You got to think of the positives.
I know there's a lot of and then, but like also that's a good question too. Like, what if I didn't go to that kickball game? What if Danny had never hit me up to be like, hey, what's some tips on this? And I was like, yeah, you know what? I want to do a podcast. I want to hit this guy up. There's so many little.
I know. It's
things.
almost like everyone knows that, but I think you just drive yourself crazy thinking about it.
Yeah. But that's why it's like if someone had a definitive answer, that'd be pretty fucking sick.
Yeah, that'd be like one of those, what do you call those? Like the kind of like your pie charts where like if you don't do this, then yes, no. And then like, what are those called? Fuck.
Circle graph or no?
Something like that where it's like if you answer yes, here's all the possibilities. You answer no, it's a different bracket listing the possibilities.
I know what you're talking about.
Whatever.
I don't know what that's called.
It's like a ballistics map.
Yeah, sure.
Like we're all. What do you mean? That's pretty accurate.
Yeah.
It's like where the bullet bounced and it's like bing, bing, bing.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
But nevertheless, that's what's on my mind today. That's first and foremost what's on my mind.
Okay.
Have you talked to a priest about this?
No, I haven't. I'm in a church and.
Since the last time you did the dog walk with the priest, probably.
Probably, and what a great guy! I got to get him
guy.
back, man.
That guy was awesome.
I know.
I was there. Yeah.
You came to that. Yeah, that's right.
I was in the church. That was great. I was tuned in.
Great guy.
I was like so tuned in I wasn't even doing my job.
Yeah. Do we have the full video version?
Yeah, it's on YouTube right now.
Oh, it is? Okay,
Yeah.
I was going to say that's one we should definitely archive.
Oh, yeah. I have constantly done like throwbacks with that one just so
that.
people listen to it.
Yeah, that was a great one. That was a lot of fun too.
What was his name? Father
Foley.
Father
Foley, yeah.
Come on, how do you forget that?
I know, so dumb. He was the inspiration for the SNL character.
Yeah, if you don't know, it's Chris Farley's old priest. Like if you're a newer listener here, he's the inspiration for the motivational speaker character where he falls in down by the river or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
I talked to the priest. I had him on the show last winter, 2020 for sure.
Yeah, it was like February.
Yeah. No, maybe I should have him come on and be like, hey, can you answer any of these for me? Even though he can't. But what else is going on? You have another situation from what I understand.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just on the process of moving, so that's a huge situation for anybody.
It's always fun.
Yeah, it's my first time. It's my first time moving like this on my own in general, but my first time moving in Chicago as well. So I'm like anything, I kind of waited to the last minute to get all this done. So
when's your lease up?
The end of the month, November 30th.
Oh, fuck.
Yeah.
And you're trying to go home for Thanksgiving too, right?
Yeah. So that's what's killing me is like I'm basically not going to be here for the majority of next week, and then I'm going to come back and like have to be ready to move out. So it's a lot of stress because I'm
tough.
Like this weekend, I'm basically going to have to spend all my time doing the packing job.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And you're getting movers, right?
Yeah. I mean, yeah. My parents have some pushback on that, but like
they don't want you to.
They're just trying to think of they were just being parents about it. Just thinking about every other possible option of my mom's telling me to ask my brother to come down from Marquette and bring his friends and but then it was
strapping young lads.
Yeah, but I listed everything I have, and she was like, "Oh, yeah, you're right. That is
a lot of shit." Or
it's not a lot. It's just like it's not like college. I'm not just grabbing some clothes and a fan and that's usually all your belongings when you're moving like that. I mean, this is like I'm in a 1-bedroom apartment. I have stuff that.
Yeah, it's gonna be a tough day for you. It's probably will snow that day too.
Right.
Yeah, it's probably gonna suck.
Movers are worth the money. Like we're too old to be asking our friends. Like I'll give you a fucking pizza if you help me move. Take apart this L couch. Get the fuck out of here, pizza. Pay me the same as you would a mover.
Yeah, dude, no way. But however, the Marquette college students is good.
Mm-hmm.
That's fair. I think that's a fair angle.
Yeah, they're not gonna actually like permanently break something.
Yeah, they're not.
But then it's like I don't have anything to put the shit in. Like it's not like I have a fucking.
I have to rent a U-Haul.
I have to rent a U-Haul, and then like I don't know what that's gonna.
That's your true problem, yeah.
Yeah.
Because you don't know. All right, so keep a. But no, your couch.
Oh, the couch situation. Yeah. Yeah, I mean that's just annoying. I just have a couch. I have a couch in my living room that I just kind of don't want to bring, and you're just kind of like stuck in a place where no matter what, it's going to cost me money. So I'm just like looking at a couch in my living room that is its existence right now is already $100 that I'm going to probably have to pay. So I don't know. Yeah, it's like if anyone wants to take it, I don't know.
Take the couch.
Yeah, it's
that would
decent.
Be really funny if someone's listening. Like, yeah, dude, I'll fucking take it.
And then your plan is to take our old office couch, correct?
Yeah. Well, I got the green light from these guys, so
yeah.
Man, a lot of.
Well, I don't know. What if someone publicly listens to that and like that's property of? I didn't think of that. Maybe we shouldn't have said that.
No,
this is our old couch.
Yeah.
From the old office.
Yeah,
it's getting donated to me. Well, no, because the other option was getting rid of it.
Correct. Yeah,
Carl was like, I want to get rid of this couch, and I was like, oh, hold up.
Yeah, it would be tossed in the garbage. Certainly, it would be better use in your house, your apartment.
Yeah, if anything, I'm being kind of resourceful. I'm being very green about
Thrifty, yes.
Yeah.
Yes, correct. Thank you, Tom. Recycling couches.
Thank you, Tom. I do want to ask too, Tom. So you've been here long enough, a little over a year, right?
Yeah.
What's been a nice restaurant that we've brought you to? One that perhaps is the sponsor of today's show.
Oh, Gale Street Inn.
Of course.
That is, I want to go there more. I've been, that place is incredible, yeah.
Yeah, so Gale Street Inn on 4914 North Milwaukee Avenue in Jefferson Park. It's right off the blue line there. We've been talking about it all week. We've been really hammering it this fall because when the weather turns, and like I said, Tom, it's going to snow on the day of your move. I'm sorry. You really want Gale Street. Dan, you could.
The jambalaya, the ribs, the French onion.
It's all there.
Yes.
The oysters Rockefeller are back too, Dan.
How could I forget?
Don't forget about that.
My apologies.
They got crab legs. They got salmon. They got Alaskan king crab. They have so much. It's a great spot for date night. If anyone has a girlfriend, would you bring your girlfriend there?
I sure would. Did you tell them about the framed bungalow pictures?
Yes, I love that.
That's great.
That's such
bungalow is
like
a Chicago type home, and they just have random frame pictures around the restaurant. I don't think you talk enough about the ambiance of Gale Street Inn.
It's great. They also Friday nights they have an acoustic live music performance.
I didn't know that.
Dinner with a show.
Yes, it's great.
Are you going to take me again?
Yeah, we could go again.
You know what I'm going to have to do? I'm going to have to do the Michael Scott.
What?
Danny's favorite joke. I'm going to have to plan. What was it? He just planned something and then cancel it.
Oh, yeah. You said you had no plans.
You said you had no plans. That's the only way I'm going to get you to.
That's the start of date night.
Yeah.
Yeah, we could definitely go. I actually think I'm going to go there for my mom's birthday soon. So galestreet.com. Go check it out. The ribs are fabulous. Some of the best in the city. The potatoes au gratin. The potato skins, in my opinion, too, are the best in the city as well. It's awesome. It really is. Give it a shot if you've never had it. 4914 North Milwaukee. Go check it out. Danny, you had some things to get off your chest as well, I believe.
Yeah. So a couple of years ago, I would go to a dermatologist, skin doctor. I had like slight acne here and there. And then I kind of went off of a traditional insurance for a while. So I waited to go back until I had like a better insurance. I got hired by Barstool full time. So I went back recently, and I don't have like severe acne, but I consistently get like a couple pimples here and there. Mm-hmm. Okay. And so I go in there and I'm telling them, I'm like describing what kind of like symptoms I get and whatnot. And they're like, all right, we're going to put you on this stuff called Accutane.
Ooh.
And they said,
I know about Accutane.
Yeah. They're like, if you don't know what Accutane is, it's essentially, what is it, like a pill?
It's like a high dose of, isn't it vitamin A? I took Accutane. Wait, do you want to take Accutane right now?
Well, so it decreases your like oil glands, I guess. You took it, so this is very insightful, actually.
I did, yeah.
So it decreases like your oil glands, I guess, and then I guess will permanently help you with acne going forward. But there's a lot of catches. Like you cannot drink for like 9 months. And you also have to go to a doctor every month and get blood results because your liver processes it. And they were about to push me out the door, be like, oh yeah, I'll put you on this stuff. Basically just change your whole lifestyle. And
are you kidding me?
Yeah. And I was like, well, let me kind of think about this. Is there an alternate solution here? But I was just gonna ask, do you think it's worth not drinking for 9 months just for just to help with some minor acne?
They want you to go to Accutane right now.
Why do you say it like that?
Because
I don't even see a pimp. You have to understand.
Accutane.
I'll show you. I'll show you a picture.
I know. I said it too. My younger brother actually took it, and he was telling me about it. And they were like, "Yeah, it is for much more severe acne, but basically, if you never want to deal with this shit again, we can put you on it." And I was like, "Well, is it worth it to just never have to deal with a couple pimples here and there for essentially the rest of my life to suffer for 9 months?"
I would say no.
But I took Accutane, and I still deal with normal
Did it
everyday
help you
pimples. Yes, but it was it's like a severe acne? But it's like a severe case of cystic acne. It's not like pimples. It's different than getting a few pimples everywhere. It was if you saw I'll show you a picture of what it looked like. It took up my entire face, and it was the way they call it cystic acne. And it's something that it's a shocking amount. It takes over your entire face and body. That's when you go to Accutane. It's the last
yeah,
result.
that's
you
what
have what would be in a commercial for Proactive. I had some pimples and it went away.
I'm a unsuccessful Proactive story actually, but
unsuccessful.
Yeah, I took it in freshman in high school. But I know that's what I was telling them. They're showing me pictures before and after. I was like, I ain't like that. They're like, we know, but it will still help, and it's not you won't have to really worry about it anymore.
I would get a second opinion, but if you want, on top of that, I took Accutane. My mom was always against it because there's other risks when it comes to.
It's depression risks or something, right?
I was going to get to that. There's mental health risks.
There's mental health risks, and my family has a history of mental health problems, so they said if you have a history, then it's heightened, and that kind of scared my mom when I was a kid. and it took over my life in high school, and it was almost like, well, hell, like this is giving me, like not doing it is giving me mental health problems. You know what I mean? It was an insane amount, and then I was going into my freshman year of college, and I was like, I can't deal with this anymore. Like, I'm starting over. I'm going into college. Like, I can't show up to college like this. So I took it my freshman year of college. And do you think I didn't drink for 9? I mean, it definitely wasn't great. Like, it probably like I'm not suggesting you to do it, but I had to deal with that my freshman year of college. Like going into the city every month, giving blood, but also drinking on it when they said not to. And
I know, and like obviously. I'm not promoting drinking on medication either. And I thought the same thing, but then my brother had like a friend who was on it, and like he drank the first time, and it was like very sick.
I did. Yeah,
I feel like that would happen.
I don't want to. Yeah,
I mean,
and I'm sure it's probably something about like you're invincible when you're a freshman in college. You know, like I'm sure it's different when you're 20, 28. You know, I don't know. I'm not a doctor, but just looking at you, I can't see. I know,
I know that, but it was more like my question was more like, would it be worth 9 months of like fucking mental health declining and like not drinking just to like never have to deal with pimples again?
Yeah, and like you said, I think that's the most important thing here. None of us are doctors, so what the fuck do we really know? But at the same time, knowing of what we know about it, I would say no. I would say no.
Just deal with pimples the rest of my life.
Also, not a doctor, but I took it. I can tell you, like, I don't think that's how it works. Like I said, I still get pimples.
Did you feel depressed?
No. I mean, no, I can't really say.
That's such a fucked up time to be taking it anyways.
I know.
Because you're moving away from all your friends, your family, and, like, natural depression may set in. Aside from that, and to take that probably fucking cooked you.
I can say that I've, like, had my, like, bouts with experiencing, like, that for real, and like it's nothing like I did not experience like after experiencing it like what a true depression experience can feel like. It my freshman year of college, I did not experience it at all. I mean, the situation you're in too is kind of like
but to picture him just rushing you out is just unbelievable. He just rushed you out. He was just like,
they said it like so matter of factly, like, yeah, like this is like a great solution, everyone's doing it, and it, like
unless
like
there's
their comeback was like, what, like you can't not drink for like 8 months. That's kind of like the vibe I was
getting. That's a big lifestyle change.
Yeah, but it's also that's not even it. Like you said, it's like the whole.
You get a coin for that in AA if you went 9 months without.
Right. So I should overlook my options.
Yeah. So there's no.
Well, so like I started reading more and more into it, and then once like the mental health thing came about, I was like, oh fuck this then. Yeah. But I just wanted to pose the question to someone who already dealt with it.
Yeah. So nothing happened when you drank on it?
I'm sure not. Like you said, when you're 19, like I'm sure you got a little drunker than you should have been.
Yeah. And there were
Next question.
That feels like you're beating around the bush.
I remember I went to like the what is it, like the nurse hall?
The health center.
The health center one time because I like threw up a lot. In like my desk drawer, and like the next morning I was cleaning it out. I noticed there was like some spots of blood in it. They said it was, I was drinking a lot of Dubra, and
that can happen shit, with that. I assume.
Yeah, that's like in Fairfield, Connecticut. That's
like some university vodka.
Yeah, but I don't think it had anything to do with that because it was just it wasn't like a big problem. Went away.
Unrelated.
Yeah. I saw a doctor about it. I'm good.
There's Tom. It gives his experience and then ends with the blood.
Right.
Well, I didn't want to bring that up.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I don't know. Listen to your doctor. But also, maybe I don't know.
Listen to your doctors and your friends. Yeah. And your coworkers.
Sounds like this doctor's like maybe getting something from Accutane.
For sure.
He's got his hand.
That's so fucked up, man.
Oh, it is.
That's so fucked up. And not saying that's the case with your doctor, but
it was almost like a real life commercial for like a Zoloft or something, where at the end, like side effects may include depression, change your whole life. But it was like them, but in real time.
Yeah.
All right, a lighter note question: if you're at a brewery and you get one of those flights, like the samples of 6 beers, is it bad etiquette to like not touch even 2 of them?
Yeah, the whole point is to try them. So why wouldn't you try at least a sip?
Yeah, but like 1 sip.
No, I think like you're thinking like you got to drink them all.
Yeah.
if you take a sip and you don't like it, then I don't think it's bad etiquette.
Okay.
Personally.
It's also kind of soft of you, though.
Yeah, like I would finish it.
That's what I
personally.
mean. Does it offend the brewer, or is it kind of just like suck it up? Like you could take down this dark ale.
No, because I think brewers are just throwing fucking darts at this point.
Okay.
Like they know they can't possibly think everything that they're making is the next big thing or fucking good, right? There's so many different beers at this point.
Also, I wouldn't care about offending a brewer.
It was less about offending them and to be like what, you can't drink 5 ounces of like a milk stout.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess because it is kind of just like the last sip.
You're right.
Come on, dude, you can't take.
Just finish it, you bitch.
What
do you want, Accutane?
I would say no. Why? Did someone tell you it was?
I went to one yesterday and just kind of had an internal debate, and it was like there were 6, and it got more and more like darker, heavier, and the last 2 were like I was like, oh, I'm not feeling this at all. Like I was eating, and then the person I was with like, what, you can't fucking down 10 ounces of that right now? It's like I can, but like, do I have to?
Yeah,
like I don't want to.
Yeah, no. See, to me, like you get a flight because you want to try different things, and possibly find what you like out of that trial.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, if you found one you like and you're like, all right, I don't want to, but you got to at least try them all.
Yeah. All right.
Somebody tells me you didn't take a sip out of one of them.
I took a sip out of one, but I didn't like it. It was like Fear Factor.
No, I don't
think
think
milk beer.
No, I don't think you have to. What did you take?
No, I was just joking around. You can finish it, but I would see like if you took a sip of one and it was like an outrageous experimental one of like a milk thing or some crazy absurd flavor, I would like maybe like take a sip or two and be like, I'm not drinking this. Like, yeah,
I'm out.
But my take was like if someone cared, like if there was some hardo that like one of those brewer hardos that cared about that, like that,
Yeah,
I don't care about those people. Like the ones who judge you for getting like a Miller Lite.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and the brewer's not the.
Not the server.
Yes, if the brewer was, doing back and forth, maybe it's a different situation. It's like, oh, you didn't like that one? Like, I put a lot of hard work into that.
Right.
Like,
that was mine.
Yeah,
that's mine.
I mixed it perfectly. But no, I would say no.
Okay.
I would say no.
Thank you.
That would be my final takeaway.
Yeah, I agree.
Anything else, guys? And anything else in the mind?
I like how we pose this as like a behind the scenes of Barstool Chicago employees, and it's really just our personal lives.
Yeah, exactly.
Accutane and moving.
Yeah, I'm trying to think.
Just talk about random shit.
Yeah.
What do people want to hear about behind the scenes?
Yeah, maybe we could do like a little
we don't
dog
know.
walk mailbag.
Yeah. Send in questions.
We document so much behind the scenes that it's almost like what is there left to you know what I mean? Like
for me, I think it's like it's more like I don't think people care about like my day at White Sox Park with Dave.
Let's give the people the behind the scenes look of White Sox Dave.
That's an interesting one.
That's an interesting one. Yeah,
it's a dangerous question.
Well, like for Tom, I know, as opposed to being like Carl or you, Tom is literally chasing around Dave for a camera. Like Dave's viral moments don't go viral unless Tom is already there with the camera.
Yeah, sometimes he'll like purposely like shoo me away when he's like about to do something extravagant that like people would love to see, because like every now and then I think he forgets that like it's his job to like entertain an audience.
Like the fucking when he tried to shoo you away when he was doing his first guitar lesson.
Yeah,
it's like, Dave, this is funny.
Yeah, and now I think he's into it now.
But you got to be careful about that, because Dave is big on like what people think is funny. Then if he thinks something's fun, like he's, you know what I mean? We've got into
it's a whole
lot of debates about what's funny and what's not. And he said he knows funny more than anybody else. So
I'd be really interested if there were anyone else who's like capable of doing what I do, of capturing White Sox Dave, like that perfect balance of like getting it authentic, but also making sure that he's not trying to run the show, because then it just will go downhill. Like when he tried to do that, he tried to organize some prank on Marty at the tailgate before the White Sox game, and it was painful. It was like I couldn't even like use it in the video because it wasn't even interesting at all. But he tried.
What was it?
He had like this big stoolie. This guy was like 6'5". He's like, I want you to go up to Marty. I want you to like pretend like you're about to punch him. or something. Because obviously, if you don't know, Marty's like a huge White Sox hater, and he was surrounded by all these White Sox fans. So it's like, I want you to go up to Marty. I want you to like scare the life out of him. Basically, he was telling me in times like, make sure you get this on video. And it was like nothing. He expected Marty to like get on his hands and knees, be like, "Stop! I'll do anything." It was just like two guys laughing, like fake holding the fist up to
this
Marty's
poor
face.
kid, like the big guy that Dave was trying to organize this with to like play the big bully. He was like this really nice, soft,
friendly giant. Yeah.
And he was like, I don't want to do that. And and then he like eventually like,
come on, it'll be funny.
Do it. It'll be funny. Do it. No, come on, do it. And he eventually like charged Marty and like
Dave's in the corner like
yeah. Danny doing Dave's laugh is hysterical. I just went over this with we were going through like the stool scenes footage when we were at Hooters. And I was pissed off because like it would have been funny for the video, but I remember I was near White Sox Dave and he was like about to talk to one of the waitresses. And I was like, "Oh, this is funny." Like,
this is a prime example right here.
Dave like pulled the waitress aside to talk to her, and I was like, "Fuck it, like, what is this about?" I went to go film, and he was like very serious. He's like, "No, get away! You can't. No. This isn't for the camera. Go away. Seriously, no, stop." And you know, we made it like he does that. He's like he'll act like it's a big family emergency, like it's not for the camera. Stop! You can't film this. I'm like, all right, and I try to respect his wishes, and then it's like, sure enough, what he was doing was he was organizing that shot trick.
Yeah. So we were at a Hooters watch party on Saturday, and I had told the Hooters servers that it was Dave's birthday. You know, layup joke, got to do it. And then Dave, for some reason, got like pretty mad. Like he did not want them singing to him. One of the funniest under the radar things was Dave pulling out his license to show him that it wasn't actually his birthday. Anyways,
that'll be in stool scenes this week.
Okay.
Tomorrow.
Anyways,
yes, tomorrow.
And so Dave was like adamant on finding out who did it, and I wasn't telling him it was me. So then he goes over to the Hooters manager to pick up where Tom left off, and he's like, "I want, 6 shots of water and 1 shot of tequila, and I want whoever asked you to tell the Hooters girls to come sing to me to get the tequila." So we waited for everyone at the table's reactions to see who got the tequila, and it was me. And so he just wanted none of that on camera.
Like he was like more concerned about seriously finding out who pranked him by having the Hooters waitresses sing him happy birthday. Like he was that serious about it that like he couldn't think in his head like, oh, this would be funny for camera. Like I'll have Tom film this. Like that whole interaction that he did with the waitress and he organized a pretty funny prank.
It would have been great.
But it was seriously for his own. He needed that for his own self. Like he needed to figure out
this
who
isn't
got
content. Like this is literally great content.
Yes, this is the definition of content.
Yes, exactly. But that's what makes you can't. If he changed, he wouldn't be White Sox Dave.
Right. It's the genius of White Sox Dave, and I mean that.
Yeah,
1,000%.
So you got to take the good with the bad.
Very right. It actually should be a pretty good stool scenes tomorrow. Right? We got the road trip on there.
It'll be a lot less like inner office stuff. It's been a pretty slow 2 weeks.
Yeah.
With stuff happening in the office. We haven't had like anyone come in or anything.
Mm-hmm.
So it's going to be the road trip, which is funny. The Hooters. Those are our main parts right now.
Cornerstones.
That's what's great about this type of series is like I could just put those two vignettes of what happened of the road trip to Pittsburgh and then the Hooters experience, and like that itself could be hilarious. But there'll be some more stuff around the office.
Totally. All right.
Remember I'm sorry.
Very good.
This will be found out when you watch it, but remember he was adamant about how he left his ID in Hooters. Because he took it out for his. It's in the video. I have it on camera. He's pulling it out. First of all, what an absurd reaction to like an entire restaurant is singing you happy birthday. He's like, no. Pulls out his ID to like dude, in the middle of the happy birthday.
I would
to
say
prove like shut up. Like
40% of the people who get sung happy birthday Hooters is not their actual birthday.
Yeah.
No, I did the chicken
as
dance.
if they were gonna stop. Like, all right, everyone cut it out. Like it's not his birthday.
Yeah, it's just gonna be a record scratch. It's not his birthday.
I have it on camera. He's like, after he gets defeated, he puts it back in his wallet.
Yeah, like that.
So we have evidence that he was convinced that's where he lost his wallet when it's more likely that he was at the bars and had a.
Probably, yeah. I thought the ID was like someone to be throwing a spoke in a wheel or a stick in a spoke. Sorry.
Mm-hmm.
That's Dave. All right, then. Tune in. Stool Scenes tomorrow. You can watch this on our YouTube, Barstool Chicago. Subscribe, please. That helps us out. And subscribe to this show, too. And, like 5 stars, whatever you got to do. Oh, and also, I did want to say, too, we were talking about old guests earlier with Father Matt Foley. I want to talk about Will the Bagpiper. He's part of the Stockyard Kilty Band. If you remember, I had them on March of 2019, if you've been with us for that long. It's the band's 100th year birthday, their 100th year anniversary this Saturday. So congrats to them. Big accomplishment for the Stockyard Kilty Band. Hope it's a great weekend, great night for the Stockyard Kilty Band. And yeah, that's it for today, everybody. We'll be back tomorrow. We'll see you then.